Get a little taste of my espresso real quick. Now my cherry blossom. It's the winning combination. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Formula America podcast. We're your hosts, Kurt and Dylan. And Austria, Dylan. Austria delivered.
It was
a race. It was incredible. As long as you're not driving a Williams or a Red Bull.
Oof.
And oh man. But man, Lando Norris back on top, baby.
Yeah, he did everything he could, I think, to bottle it, but managed to perform when it counted. And that battle with Oscar was epic and total big brain move on Lando's part to get that second DRS.
Yes. Yeah, dude, that was definitely the highlight of the race for me. As soon as it started, the beginning of that race was just, I don't know, man. Those first 20 laps were absolutely incredible.
Yep.
Nail biting, edge of the seat. As a Lando fan, it's just like, is it going to happen? Waiting for it. And I think that it showed, like, maybe it was just this one race, but I feel like Lando has turned a corner. He fought hard, he fought clean, and he didn't concede like we're so used to seeing him do. And he got a good start.
He got a great start. So did Oscar, jumping in front of Leclerc. Those McLarens were freaking rocket ships this weekend. Like,
yeah,
it makes
they were a cut above.
Silverstone next weekend is a little ominous after this weekend. It's like, but no, Lando did a good job. His radio messages were kind of entertaining. His engineer being like, please make sure you hit the apexes.
It's like, oh yeah, I forgot
that's where the racing line is. And then he was like, I need help. Where's my pace at? How do I go faster? And basically I was like, we are checking.
I think that was one of those where it's like, I feel like he was under such duress. Like the way it came out was like please help me. But yes. I think it's a pretty normal message to be like, hey, where am I losing time? Yes. I think would be a better way to put that. We hear
Lewis asking about it all the time and never. Yeah. You are losing time like, in turn help. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the straightaways. Box.
Like, great. Yeah. Oh man. This was a good weekend. I think all around we got to see, especially, I don't know, maybe I'm just giddy because I'm a Lando fan, but every session except for FP1, you could tell he was just on it. He had a good FP1, but Russell, I think, had the fastest time. But yeah, it was just one of those weekends where you could see there was something different. I feel like we got to see a little bit in Canada where him and Oscar went different ways with their front suspension setup. Yep. You can see it really gave Lando the confidence, I think, because he had a lot of pace in Canada. Just unfortunately, maybe too much pace. And then now this weekend, we got to see that he was comfortable and confident again. And Oscar, you know what? Surprisingly, I feel like Oscar was making a few mistakes this weekend that we normally don't see out of him.
I think we could say that across the board. I was a little surprised that everybody was making more mistakes than I feel as usual. I don't know if it's the car setups on this track or the tire or what, but there's a lot of slipping and sliding and, pushing people off the road and just kind of chaos.
Yeah, chaos for sure. I think probably a good time to talk about Red Bull. Speaking about chaos, I feel like we got to really see this weekend with, first off, Max was just off the pace. Quali didn't quali well. Yuki, again, just not having a good
out
go of
Q1.
Things. Yeah, it's just, and I think it really showed this weekend, especially after Max went out in lap 1, that without Max, Red Bull's like a middle to a back of the midfield team at best.
They are. And I was talking to a friend of mine about that yesterday and was like, what's happening? Like, is Max, it's hard because Max is obviously unquestionably an incredible driver, one of the best, right? Is he just that good where he can take a shitbox of a car and make it go that fast? Or is there something wrong with the car? Or what is causing the Red Bull car to eat through good drivers like it's going out of style? Like, is the car really that bad, but Max is just that good? That would be a fair thing to say to make it sound like it's not Yuki or Checo or Lawson or Albon, everybody else's fault. But why? Why is it like this?
Yeah, honestly, I know we've kind of beat this horse to death, but it keeps rearing its head. And honestly, I think it's a combination of factors. For one, you've got a car that has been tailored for Max for so long that now it's, I feel like, on the very extreme where it's hard for other people to drive it. And I think Red Bull has kind of came out and admitted that now. So they're starting to kind of dial it back a little bit. Because I think Max can be fast and you could dial the car back and Max can still be fast in that car. But also I think it's just the environment, that pressure cooker environment. The drivers have seen they get there and there's blood on the walls from all the drivers that came before them and didn't make it. And so they're probably always on edge when they're in that car. They can't get comfortable. The car is a pain to drive and it just exacerbates the problem to the point where now you've got Yuki Tsunoda, who was killing it in the V-Carb or the Racing Bulls, gets promoted.
Beat the Racing Bulls now.
He's what the hell? He's qualifying behind everybody. Racing Bulls outperformed Red Bull this weekend. And pretty much Liam Lawson out-qualified both Red Bulls.
Yep.
Finished pretty damn high. Liam Lawson had one hell of a race this weekend.
Yeah, he did.
I think that he's finally at the point now where he's like, I'm glad I'm out of that shit. Because that car is just destroying people. And I really hope that Red Bull is to the point now where they're like, all right, we're going to stick with what we got. Keep Yuki in that car. Let's not rock the boat and kill any more drivers. And we're just going to see what we can do to make next year a more drivable car and then moving forwards. Because, I mean, at this point, there's all speculation.
Horner got interviewed this weekend and said, we're not even paying attention to the Constructors Championship. It's like, why?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
they've scored 19 points in the past 3 races. Sauber has scored 20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're getting outperformed by what last year was the slowest car.
Well, this might make things interesting because at the beginning of the year, you and I were talking about what car or how much do you spend on development of this year's car versus next year's car. And it's like, well, man, if you're Red Bull, if you're Mercedes, if you're Ferrari, if you're at the top of the pile right now, you kind of need to be developing this car because everything gets shaken up next year. And so you need to try to win with this year's car if you're close. This weekend, I think, kind of took Max out of the running. I mean, he's never out, but I think that might make it easier for Red Bull to say, and now we're starting on next year's car. Let's not kill ourselves to win this year. I don't think we're going to. I don't think Max is going to get his world championship. Let's start focusing on 2026 a little more.
Yeah, because he's 60, like almost 70 points down. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a lot for him to come back, which, again, you can never count Max out.
He's 61 points out of the lead right now.
Yeah. And looking at the way those McLarens are, I mean, but it goes to show, like, at what point do you start to worry about Max's commitment to the team? And it's like, if we do.
There's a ton of speculation. I mean, freaking Toto came out and said, of course he's talking to Max. I was really surprised about that.
That's pretty funny. I did like a take that Lavies did on that where like Toto would be kind of dumb to shake what he's got right now. He's got Russell, who's killing it. He's got Antonelli, who's a rising talent, still rookie, obviously making mistakes. Yep. But why would you shake that up? He was like speculating that basically behind closed doors, he's like, look, you guys are good. You have contracts, but let's sow some instability. Do some like PSYOP missions here and say, hey, yeah, we are speaking to Max. Let's like Christian Horner, like make him a little nervous. But like you guys are safe behind closed doors. But outside, come on, Max.
We got a spot for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, for sure.
I cannot believe how happy Max was when he got crashed out. Antonelli sat in the car the whole time. I was like, yeah, that's pretty smart, kid. Stay in there till Max walks away. Max was like, just clapping him on the back. I was like, oh, that's crazy. Let's go watch the 24 Hours of Spa now. Thank God that shit's over. I'm out. Like,
dude, I got the same vibe. Like Max was almost relieved.
Yeah.
And I think other people picked up on it too, because I saw a bunch of memes and stuff going around talking about speculating on, the supposed performance clauses in his contract, where if he's not in the top 2 or 3, something like that, and Red Bull drops out of the top 3 or 4 by mid-season, then he could activate these clauses. And like, oh, you saw how happy Max was. That just gave him an easy out. I don't know if it's to that point yet, but he did seem pretty relieved.
Yeah, he didn't see. They even interviewed him afterwards, and he was like, oh, I didn't go to the media picks. I wanted to go see the 24 Hours of Spa. That's why I'm a little late.
Normally when he crashes out, you see him like, what was it, Baku? He got out and kicked the car. Or like, he's always pissed off. But this one, he just hopped out and Hey, Kimmy. Hey, good to see you.
He was like, "Oh
Thanks.
yeah, that happens. Inexperienced drivers, experienced drivers. It happens to the best of us." It's like, what is?
He also
going
was probably
on
like,
right
I
now?
wasn't gonna perform well in this race anyways, so let's just stop the bleeding.
I thought,
And then you're just like, all right, well, Yuki, it's all up to you.
yep.
My God, man, Yuki had a scrappy race.
It was something. It was something.
It was something.
Only guy to finish 2 laps down. He started doing random pit stops. He was on soft tires at the end at one point. I think that I don't know what they were trying to do.
Well, I mean, you had him fighting. Was it Colapinto? He got his penalty for hitting Colapinto. And then at the end, was it it was when Lando was coming through, right? Lando or Oscar? Oscar was coming through.
Because Oscar had that awesome radio message when Gasly or Colapinto almost ran him off the track. Did you hear that one?
Yeah, about Alpine still screwing him over.
Coming back to screw me again, aren't they?
Oh man, but yeah, it was funny the way the commentators were spinning it. If you're listening to the F1 TV, because there's like basically like these guys are fighting for P15 or whatever it was, already got penalties on them, and they're fighting for their lives. Meanwhile, you've got somebody who's fighting for the actual win coming through. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
And those guys were giving no room whatsoever. It wasn't entertaining to see for sure, but I know for Oscar Piastri and all the Piastri fans, it was extremely frustrating.
Yeah. And that, I think that is also just kind of the nature of F1. I mean, Lando got held up on the last couple of laps by back markers multiple times. Like, it's, or was it Alonso that was setting up his pit entry that like took an entire second off of Lando's lap?
I think that was Colapinto there. And then Alonso though Lando passed him, and then Alonso tried to race him and unlap himself. Like, I know Lando's like, what the hell, dude?
Dude, get away from me.
I'm fighting for my life here, man.
And then, oh man, Williams.
Yeah, that's definitely something we need to talk about. Williams now has had a DNF in each of the last 3 races.
Now they
and this one to have a double, a DNS and a DNF, basically. Carlos Sainz, did they ever say what was going on? Obviously, his brakes, he had a brake issue, but did they ever come out?
Well, how much fire was on it? There was a hydraulic leak for sure.
Yeah, that was no bueno. Carlos Sainz on fire once again.
You know,
car's different color, but still on fire.
It wasn't Ferrari's fault. We ever think about that? Maybe it's the man.
No,
not the car.
The chili pepper's a little too spicy out there.
It's just too spicy for those cars. What is the meme? You can take the Ferrari, or you can take the man out of the Ferrari, but you can't take the Ferrari out of the man.
So, also, did they ever come out and say what happened to Alex? Because that was one I never
figured out what happened to that one.
Man, what a weekend to forget. And if I recall right, I think you had them as your wild card for double points.
Double points. Should have gone with Sauber, turns out.
Yeah. Nobody saw that one coming.
Nobody saw that one coming. Yeah. Why don't we do our heroes and zeros? Because I think we're probably going to cover the rest of the stuffs.
Let's go for it.
You want me to go first? You go first?
I don't know what I was looking for. I was looking for my predictions.
Ah.
I was on the wrong part. Heroes and zeros. Yes, sir. All right, sure. I'll start first.
Go for it.
Start off with the zeros because that's just what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
And right back to Williams.
Anyway, we're saying,
as I said, 3 DNFs in a row, double DNF this race. Carlos Sainz complaining about something is broken in the car. It's oversteering. It's understeering. It's this. It's that. It's every which way.
Awful weekend.
Carlos is having a rough weekend. We got to hear it last weekend with Albon. And it's just like, it's for a team that seemed to have everything together. It seems like everything's kind of falling apart right now.
Yeah.
So I think that they've got some fundamental issues that they've got to fix to get back on it. But man, just a horrible, horrible weekend for those guys.
Yeah.
Still in, I think they're still in P5 though, in the constructors. They are P5, 55 points. Haas is catching up to him though with 28 points. My next one, I have to go with, I got to do Red Bull as a whole. Which
I wrote Red Bull as a whole down as well.
Man, it's just not good. Nothing was good. The car was off on quali day. Yuki Tsunoda is just floundering back there. I think they said he had a slightly different setup this week too. just nothing's working. Yuki's having to overdrive the car. Max is having to overdrive the car, but at least he can somewhat control it. Yuki's having a scrappy race, fighting with everybody. It was just bad, all around bad for Red Bull.
I concur.
And my last one, I think I'm going to go with. I'm gonna do a double on this. I'm gonna say Colapinto and Tsunoda combined.
That's
those
fair.
guys. So Yuki gets a double mention on my zeros list this week. But for those guys, they came together. I think multiple times they hit each other.
Yeah.
They're impeding the leaders when they're getting blue flags coming through at the end of the track. It was entertaining, but not in a good way.
Yeah.
It was kind of like amateurish and clownish. And I feel really bad for Yuki Tsunoda right now. You could tell even in his post-race interview that Red Bull pressure cooker is really starting to get to him. And for a driver that has such promise, I hope that this Red Bull experiment doesn't lower his stock too much, because I think he is a decent driver.
Yeah,
I think he's a good driver. But man, he's having a tough go.
I couldn't agree more. So I had Red Bull and Williams as well. So I'm going to swap it up a little bit. Ferrari radio and strategy.
Yeah.
It's just laughable at this point. And I know that's got to be a massive frustration for Lewis. Charles is already, he's already dead inside. But hearing, I can't believe Lewis even came into the pits. At a certain point, we've talked about this throughout the years. Carlos Sainz started doing his own thing. Like at a certain point, when do you say, no, I will keep, my tires are alive. I'm not boxing. Like,
yeah,
give me a reason to.
Yep.
Until y'all start getting better at this, I'll just make my own strategy up out here. Thanks.
Well, it's funny because we saw in the past, like earlier in the season, Lewis is like, that's too much information. Just tell me this. And now I feel like it's the other way, because he's like, hey, I want to stay out. And they're like, box. He's like, yeah, my tires are good. I think I got some more life. And all he said was box. And like 3 times Lewis is saying something, and the only response he was getting was box. So it's almost like I said too much before. Now I'm not going to say. It's almost like when you get in a fight with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, nothing's wrong. I'm fine.
It's what it sounds like half the time. And it's not good. I mean, they did finish 3 and 4. They got Leclerc on the podium, but they could have. And even DC was talking about it. Like, Lewis has a free pit stop. Why don't you put him on, this strategy or this? If there's a safety car, you can make up, point places here by position. Like, you could do things. You have free pit stops in hand. You're going to finish 3rd and 4th. And they just did nothing. It's just not a great look. It really isn't. Yeah. It's just more.
I think it's important that you said Ferrari radio message and strategy, because like you said, pace-wise, I think they were good. Lewis had his best quality of the year.
Yep.
He had his probably one of his better races of the year. Charles did great too, made it on a podium. So yeah, that strategy and the radio messages needs a little help.
Yeah, a lot of help. I'm going to throw Alpine on there, and Alpine as a whole. Flavio Briatore, or whatever his name is, just looks like a used car salesman every time it flashes to him. Like, that guy had a lifetime ban, and now it's just bleh. And then Franco Colapinto beat Yuki, and Pierre Gasly beat Lance Stroll. And that was it. I mean, just.
Yeah, not a good weekend for those guys.
No.
And they are solidly in P10.
Last
11 total points. Kick Sauber has 20 points.
Yeah. Yuki's got 10 points.
Yeah.
So,
good.
yeah, he's there.
Were they from Red Bull or from Racing Bulls?
Question.
I think probably Racing Bulls there.
He got 3 points from Racing Bull.
Okay. So mostly Red Bull. All right, good for him.
Yeah. So yeah. Let's go to Heroes.
All right. Why don't you start off with the Heroes?
Heroes, Liam Lawson.
Oh, 100%. Liam freaking Lawson killed it.
About time. I'm super happy to see it. Dude's been kind of floundering what's been going on, and he crushed it this weekend. I
think Liam, more than most other people, needed that mental victory.
Yep.
And to out-qualify Max Verstappen. And then he finished P6?
6.
Man, what a great weekend for Liam Lawson. I know he is riding on a high. Finally, he needed that, so good for him.
My second one is Kick Sauber as a whole. We had Gabriel Bortoletto make it through Q3, qualify P8, and manage to hold on to P8 throughout the whole race and finish P8. We had Nico Hulkenberg, who started P19 and made it all the way up to P9. Double points finish. Freaking awesome.
Yeah. I think for where those guys started last year to even where they started this season to where they are now, do you see their pit stops? When it counted, they needed it. That car came in and was gone in a flash. It was incredible. Yeah, those guys, that Kick Sauber team is doing good right now.
Yeah, that was definitely a high for them. And then I'm gonna have to give it to McLaren. I mean, what a dominant weekend. They didn't set a foot wrong. It was great entertainment watching the drivers race. It just hats off to them.
Yeah, definitely McLaren. And one thing I love, and I have them on my heroes too, so it'll kind of segue into that. I love that they allowed it to happen. Yep. They didn't come in and be like, hey, back off. The only instruction I heard was they told Oscar, like, hey, that was a little close when he locked up and almost went to the back of Lando.
That was,
to be fair, like, don't do that.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only, yeah, that's the only radio message I heard that was kind of like giving them any sort of rules. Other than that, it was clean. It was fun. It was awesome to hear how the Lando's engineer, Will Joseph, was coming over. He was like, hey, if we do this, we could beat him. And it's like telling him like the different strategies and stuff. I love that they gave Oscar the choice on when he wanted to pit for the tires. Like, do you want to do it now, or would you rather have fresher tires at the end?
You want to have come out now 1.5 seconds, or have fresher tires and come out 4 seconds? And Oscar didn't even think about it. He was like, 4 seconds. Duh.
Yeah, and I know Lewis is watching that like, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think that was incredible to see. And those guys, they fought clean. They fought hard. It was so exciting. And I love that we got to see it for the first 20 laps and then like the last 15 laps.
Yep.
And I'm just so glad. It was exciting to see. That was awesome.
Totally agree.
All right, my next one, man. So I also had Lawson and I had Steak on here. Let's see if I could give it to anybody else. I would like to say, kind of contrary to your, well, not contrary, but in addition to your 0 of Ferrari, I would like to put Ferrari on here because they had a good weekend. Like I said, this is Lewis's best quali. Yep, the new floor on the car. So even Lewis at the end said that he feels like he's starting to understand the program and he's starting to get along with it a lot better. So I think those guys definitely deserve one. They just got to fix that communication issue. I think Lewis and his engineer need to go on some sort of retreat in the mountains or something. Yeah. Maybe do ayahuasca together and just like really get in tune with one another. But yeah, I think they definitely deserve a good nod. And you know what? I'll just have to double tap on Lawson just because I'm so excited to see that he's from all the hits that he took to then come back and have this weekend. You could see it on his face how excited and happy he was. So
half the people in the Red Bull garage came over and gave him a hug after the race. Like everyone was excited for him.
I mean, yeah, because I think everybody saw, what happened to him in the beginning of the season. It probably wasn't fair. Probably also shouldn't have been put in that position to begin with. So I think it's good to see like, hey, the kid's still got talent. It didn't completely destroy him. Hopefully now he can rebuild and come back and hopefully not come back to Red Bull, but come back into form.
I don't really want to do predictions.
I don't think you did well on predictions.
No,
I think that I got a couple, but I don't think you did well.
No, I did not. It's a bit of a bloodbath over here.
All right, well, let's go ahead and start off and see where we're at.
On pole, I had Verstappen.
Oh, on pole, I had the correct answer, which was Lando Norris.
P3, I had Verstappen.
P3, I had Oscar Piastri, so I was off on that one.
That's fair. Correct answer was Leclerc. P2, I had George Russell, who was, a mile behind them.
George and Mercedes did not have a good race.
No, they didn't.
But I had, where are we at? P2, yep. I had Max Verstappen.
You did. P1, I had Oscar Piastri.
So close. P1, I had Lando Norris. 2 points for me. Let's go into the wild cards. What was your wild card again?
Points.
Oh man, didn't happen. Neither did mine though. My wild card was the red flag. I thought we were about to get it. They just did a safety car.
So you got 2 points.
I did. I got 2 points.
9 to 11. You are up.
I'm up.
You're up 9-11.
Oh, I'm in the lead. Now it's time for me to put my foot on the gas and leave you in the dust, sucker.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's go talk about fantasy. Where are you at on that?
Oh, no. We can just end it here. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.
On that note, let's see. Fantasy. Here we go. So, fantasy. We'll start with me since I'm a little bit behind. I did move up, though. I am now P11.
Yep.
I think I was 12 or 13. I had a good weekend, though.
You did.
I had, where are we at here? We are checking.
You pulled in 251 points.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. I scored on every person. This is the first time every person on my lineup scored.
Carlos Sainz hosed me on 20 points. I got 232 points. But I'm in P8
and
still.
you are in P8. Well, you moved up, looks like.
Yep.
Moved up to P8. We now have still the same. Advantage Max is still P1.
Way out.
Womps has moved up into P2 though. And Providence Racing has moved down one. We got Gimme the Steering Wheel in P4.
Where did this guy come from?
I was thinking the same thing. I don't know where he came from. Let's see how well he did. 237 points.
He got hosed by Sainz as well.
He did.
Seat full of water racing. Good points haul. No negative points.
Nice.
Yeah. Surefire, my car's won. All right, Kurt. We have Silverstone next.
We do have Silverstone next. Also, just before we leave, I think it's worth mentioning.
4th of July.
Too bad we don't have an American team.
Right?
But I did go see the movie this weekend, the F1 movie.
Oh, that's right.
And
you did. What'd you think?
I highly recommend it. I thought it was really good. I know a lot of people are like, oh, there's some things that didn't make sense. It's a freaking movie. It's not a documentary.
Well,
right?
I was pretty happy when like Kim Illman did a thing. He was like, for your hardcore fans, here's some things that like would be very obvious to you. And it was like Brad Pitt wouldn't actually qualify for a super license. It's like, okay,
that's the main thing. Yeah.
If that's the biggest ding on this movie, then it's doing pretty freaking good.
And I think they did a good job of having enough stuff in there for hardcore fans and also for people that didn't watch. Like they described DRS or why a certain tire was being used, and they made it fit organically into the movie where it wasn't like, a lesson. So I think it did really good. I think it was a great freaking movie. I was really excited. I'm actually going to go take my cousin and see it again. So highly recommend it. Go watch the F1 movie. Other exciting news. We are now officially booked for COTA this year. I'm excited for that. So we'll be down there for at least for the sprint and the quali day. Well, sprint day, Saturday.
You just did GA or did you get in the stands somewhere?
Yeah. We just did the general admission for quali. So gonna be doing that.
Good.
Other than that, 4th of July, we've got Silverstone, which is always an amazing race.
Always.
Can't wait to see what happens there. So we'll be back in a few short days with our predictions for that. Dylan, do you have anything else?
That's all.
All right. Well, on that note,
stay classy, America.
We'll see you next time.